Our panel is a star-studded one, for sure.
If we were supposed to shoot tomorrow, but now we're shooting next week. No, I was really upset I missed our I know. But apparently it was really nice though.
Our next panelist is Kuntal Joisha, another very popular vegan and friend and inspirational person in many of our lives. Kuntal, Arvind, may I call you onto the stage to join Jacqueline and Palak on the panel? And I will introduce everyone again. A passionate advocate for kindness, for fitness.
अरे यार भाई कौन खड़ा हो गया? बोले नहीं खड़ा होगा कोई।
Arvind Krishna,
खड़ा होना तो हम भी आगे वहीं
professional
खड़े हैं।
basketball player, actor, ambassador for Vegan Jewelry India and Vegan
हाँ,
Jewelry,
तो हम आगे खड़े होंगे तो बोलना
promoting
मत।
veganism and animal rights. Kuntal Joisha. Kuntal is the first vegan to summit Mount Everest and has climbed major peaks all over the world, including Mount Lhotse, Mount Manasi, and Denali. Also a nutrition and fitness coach and named one of India's top 30 fitness influencers. Welcome to all of you, and it's over to you, Palak.
Thank you so much, Sandhya. Welcome everyone. We're very excited that Jacqueline and Kuntal and Arvind are joining us for this panel. And I can't think of three more appropriate people for representing this whole topic. This topic has been very difficult for anybody who is a meat eater and is trying to transition towards a vegan or a vegetarian diet. Leaving meat is not easy. It comes with its own baggage. But to be honest, it's quite easy also, right? Because if you have clarity on what to do next, how to maintain your fitness goals, how to be healthy, how to be fit without meat, without dairy, living a plant-based life, then it's pretty easy. So I'm so excited to have all of you here with me. Jacqueline, let's start with you. What does your fitness regime include, and what is the biggest change in your fitness routine after leaving meat?
Hello.
दूसरा माइक दिया जाए।
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me here today. This is a very important conference, honestly, for me even to be at, and also to have such amazing panelists here. Thank you for joining us on the stage, and thank you for having me. So you asked me about my fitness regime. Well, I have been an actor for at least 15, 16 years right now. So I used to follow a very different fitness regime before. I think before it was more about aesthetics. When I used to work out and I used to choose my diet and I used to choose what I wanted to eat, it was more about, is this going to make me look better? It was always about, is it going to make me look better? Is it going to make me look thinner? Will it make me look more beautiful? It was always about aesthetics. And I think now when I approach my fitness regime, it's more about, is there balance in my life now? Do I have mental clarity? And that was actually something that came along when I decided to go meatless 3 years ago. And I have to say the journey was not easy. It was very easy for me to transition into meatless. Transitioning into vegan was a little bit more challenging, I would say. But like you said, it's not impossible. It can definitely happen. And it really does, what I feel was the biggest achievement, or probably the best success out of it, was that it did give me a lot of mental clarity. It gave me a lot of peace. And it's not about aesthetic anymore. It's about being holistic and having a holistic approach to my lifestyle, which I feel it has given me. So, yeah.
Amazing. We have a picture of you, of your fitness routine. Can we also
My
show
fitness
that?
routine?
Yeah.
It must be complicated.
A fit picture of you.
Yeah. I actually have, yoga has been a part of my life who was our host just now, she just told me I used to go to the same yoga classes as you. So that was something that I have been doing for a very, very long time. Again, I feel that we used to approach fitness and we used to approach our diets more about how it would make us look. And I would have so many people coming up to me and be like, hey, how do you have those toned arms? Or tell us about how do you achieve those calf muscles? And it was always, or how are you so skinny? A lot of times I used to get that as well. And that was the ideal at one point in my life for me. I would say that is not the way it is anymore. And really now it is about having a very overall approach. So yoga definitely fits very, very well into anyone looking to go into a holistic approach towards fitness. I would definitely recommend yoga.
Yeah, fitness is mental fitness, mental clarity as well. Mind, body, soul.
It targets everything. It targets your flexibility, your strength, your mental clarity, which I think it needs to be well-rounded when you're approaching it.
I love that. Our perception of fitness is so limited, but it's time that we span that. Could you tell us what brought about this change for you?
So, I think, well, a couple of years ago, I was gravitating and wanting to learn more about spirituality and go deeper into it. So, I started studying about Paramahansa Yogananda and Babaji, and I started going deeply into meditation and looking at the benefits that it would give us, and also his teachings about how we need to be one with nature and we need to have a lot of mental clarity if we want to live a good life. And it was 3 years ago that I checked myself into their ashram, which was in Mud Island, and it was a very, very tumultuous time for me. So it was New Year's. It was going to be New Year's of 2022, and I wanted to just get some peace. My mother had unfortunately just had a stroke, and I was not able to be with her. So I decided that I really wanted to utilize this time and be at one with myself and send her a lot of energy. And the thing was, I woke up on the 1st of Jan, 2022, and I said, I'm never ever going to touch meat again.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't want to contribute to any more suffering, and I want to, just change the way my life is right now. And that just happened for me.
So you were just introspecting and this happened?
Yeah. It was after a few days of meditation and at the ashram, and it was probably just the day before. I was like, I'm going to do this, and can I do this? No, I'm going to do this. And then I woke up on the 1st, and I've never looked back. I've never touched meat again after that, and it's been like 3 years.
That is commendable, especially if you have such a hectic life, you're trying to make this change proactively. Were you a heavy meat eater before this?
So I was raised a non-vegetarian. So my dad is a Sri Lankan, my mom's a Malaysian. There was meat at every single meal. So if it was our breakfast, if it was our lunch, if it was our dinner, it was just part of our staple diet, and we didn't know how to be without it. But the strange thing was, from a young age, I would sometimes look at beef and I would never be drawn to it, or I would never really want to eat it. So that was something I actually never even looked at as a kid. And then as I got older and I was in college, I started reading about veganism and, I want to try this right now, and but again, that was more about, apparently it's really healthy for you. This is a really good way to live. And now it is more about just reducing the amount of cruelty that that we actually do put onto the world, and just trying to find a cleaner, more pure way of living. It has become more about that right now.
Yeah, you're also an animal lover, and I have so much respect for the work you do with, rescue dogs and with your foundation. So everybody, can we have a big round of applause for Jacqueline Fernandes?
Thank you.
Alright, so is the Indian diet bad? I mean the traditional Indian diet, dal, roti, sabzi, for your health?
I actually believe that the Indian diet is one of the healthiest diets you can be on. I think that there are a lot of misconceptions and people confuse possibly like your quantity control, the amount of carbs you're packing onto your plate, the oil that you're using. Are you using good oils? Are you using bad oils? This whole attitude of chalte hai, kha lo, kuch nahi. I mean, it's fine. It's nothing's gonna happen. We tend to, I think, approach sometimes food that way, and the Indian diet has a numerous amount of superfoods that even the West now are adopting. But it's a part of our diet and part of our food that we've been eating for generations. Turmeric has become such a big deal in the West. Moringa has become such a big deal in the West. Even amla, which is such a basic fruit over here, has huge amounts of vitamin C. And these are parts of our everyday diet. So I really believe if you approach it the right way, it could be the best diet and the best meal you could ever have.
Amazing. Do you think that celebrity diets is something which most people should follow, or?
Well, look, everybody is different, every body type is different, every person's lifestyle is different, so I don't believe that you should be following specific celebrities' diets. What they're saying is according to their lifestyle and their body type. But if people do want to follow a certain celebrity, I would say follow them for maybe the dedication that they have towards their fitness, or the discipline, or the consistency that they have towards their fitness.
Because each body type is totally different.
It's completely different. Even when a lot of people, they come up to me and they ask me about my diet. I get this a lot, about my diet, my fitness, what do I do? What am I working, like what workout am I doing? And first of all, I have a job requirement, which requires me sometimes to rehearse 8 hours a day for a song, or there's an action sequence coming up. So it is very different, and my body will look a certain way because of that. So I do tell them to either first consult a nutritionist, consult a doctor. If you can work out with a trainer, ask them what they believe is best according for their body types. I think when you try to reach an ideal of somebody else's body, it can be very unnerving, it can be frustrating because you may not be able to ever really get there. But everyone can be consistent, everyone can be disciplined, everyone can achieve that goal. So I would say go for that.
Now I bet everybody in the room is wondering and curious about what is your secret to fitness, what is your diet like?
Don't copy me though. I'm joking. I mean, of course I love giving fitness tips, and I've been doing this for so long. I entered the world of modeling when I was like 11 years old, and I've been doing TV hostings from that time. I was in Miss Sri Lanka, I moved into movies, I've done like songs where I need to aesthetically always look very good and very fit. So right now, of course, my approach is much balanced. A lot of people, when they see what I'm eating, they're like, how are you eating so much? They're very shocked. No, I mean, and I'm like, it's really, really simple. You just have to balance it out, and you really have to listen to your body. I love it. You're like, what are you eating? I get that. But so, I mean, for me, it is, I usually have about 2 meals a day. If I'm having 3 meals a day, the last meal would be very, very basic and very, very light. My breakfast is around like 10 o'clock because even though I wake up early, I'm an early riser, I wake up at around 6. I do like to start my mornings with a lot of hydration. I take sodium bicarbonate in the morning, which helps me alkalize everything. And my mornings are more about meditation and yoga and breathing. And then I go into having a breakfast because by that time I'm starving. But again, it is a very balanced meal. I usually would have either a chia seed pudding, which has my coconut milk and chias, which are great seeds, great for protein, or I'll have something which I actually stole this recipe from a fellow vegan actor, and he has this really cool breakfast recipe, which is tofu scramble and avocado and sprouts, moong dal. And it's very, very filling, and it energizes you, and it's the great, proportion-wise, it's a great food pairing. So it doesn't give you a slump, it doesn't leave you lethargic. And I have a green juice every single day because, again, I'm fueling for the rest of the day, and that has a lot of nutrients and minerals and vitamins. And I do have a rice and curry every single day. When I can, of course, that's home-cooked food for me. But I will have my rice and I will have a tofu curry, or I've just discovered, I don't know if you guys know about lion's mane. Yeah. It's this amazing mushroom. Oh, you take it every day? So see, look at us. we're ready. We're up there. We're prepared.
This is a very fit panel.
Yeah, this is. I just actually discovered lion's mane. It's available here. You can get it, and it works really nice in curries. It's actually a mushroom, but you don't feel like you're eating a mushroom curry because that sounds a bit weird. But it's the consistency is amazing, and you can pair it up with different vegetables. Have it with I always have rice every single day. And I've learned now also before especially with if you're having dal rice, because that's my go-to comfort food, dal rice aloo. Which people are like, how are you eating dal rice aloo? There is such a misconception, but actually it's not like that. Of course, as a food pairing, it may be too many carbs, but you can actually help that and eliminate maybe the glucose spike by having a few vegetables or a green salad right before. So that really balances.
So rice in itself is not really, bad for you.
I don't see anything wrong with rice. Of course, I have to advocate for portion control. I have to advocate for when maybe you're also having it. I also have to advocate for the balance that you're having in terms of your lifestyle. Are you active? Are you not active? I've grown up with rice and curry since I was a kid. And we had portions like this. I remember my dad's rice portion used to be over flooding his plate. But so I still have it. It's something that I really enjoy eating, and I really feel it fuels the body well. It's good complex carbs, and if paired with the right foods, I think can be very nutritious, and I think can be very, very good for optimum health. So and I finish that off with a tomato soup at night. I make sure I always have that, and if I've skipped my lunch, then I'll just have that same big meal for dinner. So it's very basic, it's very simple, actually.
Yeah.
I hope so.
No, this was amazing and actually very insightful. Thank you so much for these tips. I know you've asked people not to follow what your diet is, but I'm sure people will have a lot of takeaways.
Yeah, I think just about food pairing, that could be something that they could be more conscious about, what they're pairing their foods with. And of course, making sure that you are targeting your proteins, your different food groups, and you're having a variety on your plate. I think that's important.
Thank you. So my next question is for Arvind. Arvind, as a professional athlete and an actor, you need to be at the peak of your physical health.
25 kgs, then I'm carrying 20 kgs lesser, right? Then I can carry a 20 kg back and feel like 95 kgs, right? So it matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but it's not as if when I started my mountaineering journey, my goal was that I had to go down to 75 kgs. No, the goal was let's just start eating smartly, let's just start fueling smartly, let's just start training smartly. And then weight loss at that point was more incidental. But my recent journey 5 years ago, as I came into the world of strength training and resistance training, with a goal that when I'm 44 right now, my goal when I am 50 is to stand on a natural bodybuilding stage, compete. I'm not saying I want to win or anything, but compete. And ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि क्या poop physique है. Like no one should say that. People should feel like अरे solid physique, good, great. And then come down the mountain and go and climb perhaps a mountain like Everest again. So to show to the people that I can be a strength athlete and at the same time I can continue retaining my endurance and doing all of this while staying vegan. I disagree a little bit with Dr. Zishan here. I know he shared some recommendations, just a little bit, not a lot. His recommendations were around RDA, which is currently 0.8 grams per kg of body weight. I would just say that if you want to look at optimal long-term health, as just an average individual, I would look at 1 to 1.2 grams per kg of body weight. And if you are an athlete, and when or a recreational individual or someone who really wants to pursue sports or activities, I would say anywhere upwards of 1.4 grams per kg of body weight would be pretty reasonable.
Alright. Well, thank you, Kuntal. That was amazing. Let's come to your bucket list of fitness activities. Does each one of you have bucket lists of activities?
Mine is to climb Mount Everest. So maybe Kuntal, you can get me there and prep me for it. So I tried to actually do base camp last year.
Okay.
And I had this whole group going, and we had this whole plan. First it was planned for April, then that didn't happen. A few people backed out, so we were like, okay, let's now do this in October. And then October came, and everyone was really gearing up to it from July onwards and doing their workouts and our planning and what the boots that we had to buy and all that kind of stuff. And then by September, even I was really, I was like, okay, great, I'm going to Everest. Like all the papers are coming in. Our coach was there, and the person who was who was the person who helped
organizers, like an adventure company.
Yeah, exactly. So they were all on board, and we had the whole group going. And then in September, I get this call that it was for a film that I had to go shoot immediately, and it was one of those films which I just could not back down from. And so there, my Mount Everest dreams all shattered. And but all my friends all went. Everyone went. I was the only one missing. And but I told myself that this is something I'm definitely going to do. And it's so ironic that you're on this panel, because this is exactly something. And now that I'm hearing that, fitness coach, nutritionist to vegans climbing the mountains, I was like, wait a minute, this is perfect. So yeah, hopefully I will get there.
Wow, I hope you're inspired to retake.
Yes, yeah, and especially now that I'm hearing that honestly, it didn't even occur to me that this would be a problem if I was a vegan or not a vegan or whatever, and it also was base camp, which I think is so achievable. My friends were telling me that during base camp, they were stuffing themselves with like chocolate bars and donuts, and that was a lot of the stuff that they were getting on the way. So I think a little bit more organization probably in the planning of the foods.
So I've been running vegan Everest base camp trips. And on my Everest base camp trips, you eat everything from a cheeseburger to a pepperoni pizza with vegan cheese to the pastas to everything and local dishes like momos and some of the local breads they have. So full-blown vegan EBC trip without usage of any mules. The porters are taken care of. I take care of their insurance. They are really treated well, and yeah.
Next vegan India conference is at the Everest base camp, guys. Start signing up.
What about you,
My fitness goals, I'm 39 now. I have a son who's 2.5. My goal is to be able to play basketball with him when he's a teenager and be fit enough where I can bust his ass on the court. Because I do it now to the young teammates that I have. I'm the oldest guy in the league. I hope I don't look it. I definitely don't play it. So all the teammates are like, "Bhaiya, aap chicken nahi khate." In typical Hyderabadi fashion, kya bhaiya, chicken nahi kha rahe, mutton nahi kha rahi. I'm like, "Nahi beta, zarorat nahi, main tere phod raha hu na court mein." I wanted to say something else, but I didn't want to. Yeah. तो हम लाइक नहीं चाहिए यार मुझे चिकन बिरयानी मटन बिरयानी ये काफ़ी है vegan lifestyle अच्छा है तो my goal is to continue playing and one of the reasons I actually wanted to do this superhero film also is because when I saw my son I always want to be a superhero in his eyes so I want to be a good role model for him and if I can show him that I'm being a good role model by being a vegan. And for me, this is something that I wanted to mention because a lot of people ask me in the crowd as well, what does it mean to you to be like this manly man when you are on a vegan diet about testosterone, this, that? For me, my test levels are really high and I can show you the reports or you can come outside, we can talk. But for me, being a manly man is about how you treat animals, how you treat the people in your life. Like, this is not to be patriarchal, but for me, a real man is measured by how he treats the people in his lives, including the women in the lives. And as a vegan, I want to also propagate this message about let's treat women better. Not just other men better, let's treat women better as well. So my fitness goals also are aligned with emotional and physical goals. And after being a father, I think my mindset has changed a lot. So obviously I'm going to still bust his ass on the court, but I want him to know that you can still be a very good person and be vegan maybe down the line. I'm not forcing him to be vegan yet, but one day hopefully he will be vegan.
Kuntal, what about you? What is on your bucket list? And I know you've already done Everest, so you can't name it again.
So similar to Arvind, I have a 4.5-year-old daughter and I would love to go climb Everest with her when she's 16 or 18 or 20. So hopefully she takes up to mountain climbing. Hope she doesn't, show up and say, oh, no, I don't like mountain climbing. Then I'll have to find something else to do with her.
No pressure, kids, no pressure. How do you maintain this lifestyle when you're traveling or working? I know the routine must be out of your control sometimes.
I think when I'm working, it makes sense for me to bring my home cooked food with me. So packing a tiffin and bringing that with me, because sometimes on certain places that we're shooting, we may not have access to the best food. And that too, if it's something that's like vegan, it's a little bit more difficult. So I usually do pack my food, and also, being on a set, now everything is in order. So I usually have a snack box, and it's amazing how delicious you can actually make those snacks out to be. A lot of it constitutes nuts, seeds, dried fruits, all amazing nutritional value. All of them have. But if I'm traveling, I have found possibly the easiest thing, and probably the most important thing if you're trying to stick to your diet, is to carry vegan protein bars, vegan protein shakes that you can have easy access to. You just need to either add something to it, or you can have it on its own. It really makes life easier, because especially when you're traveling and you're in and out of airports, and then you're rushing to one event and you're coming back the same day, it's very difficult to find healthy, good food on your way. There are really not that many options most of the time. So be prepared. I think that's very important, and you can really make a very, very good snack box for yourself, and it'll be healthy, and it will be nutritious, and it'll be filling, and it will just do the job just fine.
You've given us a lot of tips after this conference.
Are you going to follow it?
Arvind, what about you? When you're traveling, how do you?
It's really hard, like she pointed out. But again, I think planning is really important. And fortunately, when I travel for my shoots, my chef travels with me. So again, my diet is very simple. If I'm given poha, tempeh, and dal, I'm happy. I'm a very happy camper. I get enough of my nutrient requirements, and I supplement. Recently, I was in Japan, and a lot of people told me Japan is amazing for vegan food, blah 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 blah. Wherever I showed up, everything had beef in it. Even the sauces had beef in it. Or maybe I went to the wrong areas. And when I played 3x3 basketball, which is also an Olympic sport, so we have 3-4 games in a day. So if I have foods, I'll literally be shooting and yakking on somebody. There's no way I can eat so much and play. So that's where these supplements really come in handy. And she pointed out protein bars. So I have some really nice protein bars that I carry with me all the time. And I'm very mindful about where I'm going. So there's a lot of very good stuff, like trail mix, for instance, is amazing. So I make my own trail mix, like it's Arvind's trail mix. And I carry it with me, which always gives me excess baggage, So it's okay, it's worth it. I mean, I don't want to cheat on my meals. So that's why it's very, very important to be well planned. And use supplements, use protein bars, use snacks. Just don't cheat.
Makhana is also a pretty good snack to have.
Makhana is amazing.
Makhana.
And now they have flavors.
Now they have, and honestly, everywhere you travel now in the world, it's amazing, because like I was just in London and it was all about these makhana, but they're called, I think, poppy seeds or lotus. They have it. So they have a very
Fox nuts, pea seeds.
fancy name that it comes with in this fancy packaging. I'm like, oh, makhana! Yeah, it's makhana. And it's all over LA, because it's such a nutritious food as well. It's packed with so much nutrition and protein. So I actually have a little recipe which I use for my makhana. You might want to pick this one up. But so I love caramel popcorn, but of course, that's not the healthiest thing that you could probably have if you're trying to be on a fitness journey or a health journey. So I take coconut sugar and I saute the makhana in the coconut sugar, and it all of a sudden becomes this really yummy, sweet, caramelized makhana. And I've not seen that on the market yet, but it's a healthy way if you want to have something like a sweet a sweet snack, and you don't want to be too crazy on the calories. It's a great way to snack.
I didn't hear any of you mention nuts and seeds. Is it a no-no? Or
No.
is it
Oh no, we mentioned it a lot actually.
Trail mix is full of nuts and seeds.
I mean, with just dry fruits, or does it have to be a trail mix of a lot of things, or it's just a handful of dry fruits? Because I'll tell you why I asked.
Dry fruits is different than nuts, right? Dry
Sorry,
fruits
I
is
meant
like.
But I have dry
dry
fruits.
fruits,
I'm from
yeah.
Hyderabad. Khajur kha ke workout karna yaro. So I definitely
Because
have my
people
dates
say-
before my workouts as well.
Yeah,
Dates are
because a lot of people say that when you turn vegan, right, this is a big debate, that you shouldn't have more than say 5 almonds a day or 5 cashews, because vegans, after having all this almond milk and cashew cheese, etc., you're always overdosing on that. So what do you think?
Again, I think we are very aware of being in moderation. I love snacking on nuts and seeds because I know that it comes with so much good fat. It's great for my skin. I am looking at it also like, okay, what is this going to do for my skin, my hair? Because a lot of people talk about that. Oh, you're not getting enough nutrition. Your hair is going to start thinning out. Your skin's not going to start, it's going to start looking bad. But when I look at the nutritional value of nuts and seeds, like flax seeds, I make sure I have flax seeds every day. Chia seeds, it's extremely high, and it constitutes for a lot of things that maybe come in the meat diet that people are saying you're not getting enough of. So when I look at nuts and seeds, it's definitely a staple. It's a daily staple in my diet. And if you complement that with dried fruits like your apricots, your dates, which I think are full of iron, just so nutritional, I think it's an amazing thing to have every day.
And you can combine them with actual fruits as well. Like in between my shoots or in between games, I'll have dry fruits and I'll have fruits as well. Because it's a good nutritional component there, but it's also tasty. Plus, it's nice to get fruits. You need the right fibers as well, right? And like your mom and grandmom probably told you, have your fruits. So I have
I
my
don't
fruits
think
as
you
well.
can overeat them either. I don't know, I think it's a little bit difficult to overeat.
What about almonds and walnuts and things like that?
I think we should trust our body. When we've had enough, our body will tell us.
I don't think we're going to be eating 100 almonds in one day, like in one go. I think we'll be, also yes, of course, you do have to be mindful. And if you are eating 100 almonds a day, I don't think that would be very healthy to do.
Also, I just want to quickly touch upon this. I don't know. How many of you use like a app for nutrition? Do you guys clock in everything you eat? Yeah, because I use that. So if I've had like whatever I had through the day, I clock it, and then I'll have 5 almonds. It'll tell me not to have more.
So guys, I actually brought my makhana with me,
Oh, wow.
homemade makhana, so maybe you guys can try this. And
That's so sweet.
This is how I actually carry it as well. And for the rest of you, I'll put up this recipe on my YouTube channel so you can go and see it. How to make it. So this is actually and it's like freshly made. Yeah, you can have it all.
This is amazing.
Wow, really nice.
Yay! The sweet makhana worked. Thank you. Thank you guys.
This doesn't taste like
around.
makhana anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It tastes almost like caramel popcorn, right?
Yeah, it does.
Something that I love. So yeah, I figured a healthier
I
version.
would love to have this in theaters during the movie.
I know.
We should tie up with somebody.
Maybe I will talk to PVR.
You've just given a white space idea to a lot of running
No one steal my idea. No, I'm joking. Or his idea.
Give ideas for me.
Right. Alright, so how do you plan a vegan diet properly? Kundu, let's start with you. I mean, you can have water, it's fine.
As I said, just set up your plate. The maximum portion of the plate should be vegetables. Then include the lentils, the beans, and some of the whole grains. Some lean protein source like tempeh or tofu, or perhaps if you have access to seitan would be great. It's my favorite, but unfortunately we don't get it in Mumbai.
Is that tempeh also? Is that tempeh a form of tempeh?
No, seitan is vital wheat gluten,
Oh, yeah.
and so it's primarily very rich in protein.
Okay.
So I would kind of do that, and some nuts and seeds and some fruits. That would be a reasonably balanced plate. No, just want to keep it simple.
I think that's what a lot of, when people go vegan, I think they realize that their life just becomes simpler, right? Because the foods that you do actually require, you realize, okay, I do try to look for more variety in my proteins. I think that is a great way also to approach it, because a lot of people talk about, oh, will you be getting enough protein? So I like to look at the variety in it, and then just make my plate colorful, think about my food groups, and make sure, again, I'm I get the right food pairing. So I think that's also important. But yeah, it really consists of like very, very simple. You don't have to put much thought into it. You can get very creative with vegan as well. Like, I mean, I think about like ways that I can make vegan desserts and I can do fun stuff. Like I make vegan pancakes right now. I don't need anything else but like maybe a little bit of like almond milk or like a coconut flour. So it's like there are ways to actually maybe have the same amount of foods. And something Kuntal also you had mentioned about being vegan, it is, you shouldn't really think about what your what you're losing out on, which is what I believe as well. It's not about like, oh, we're missing out on something now. It's actually about something that we're gaining. We're gaining right now an entire new world also of amazing new foods, whole foods, cruelty-free foods. There's a whole new world of that. So it's not really about what you have lost out on or what you're giving up. It's actually about what you're gaining now.
Even spiritually, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mental
Spiritually,
clarity, everything.
emotionally,
Yeah.
physically, obviously. And for me, like, the first thing when I tell people, of course, in the narcissistic world sometimes, people are vain. So they immediately their antennas go up and I tell them, hey, my hair got better, my skin got better after I turned vegan. It actually has. It's helped me be a better actor.
I don't know if this maybe goes for everyone, but my skin got a lot better as well. And I newly turned into vegan, so, but my skin, I've suffered from adult acne, which is really, really difficult when you have to be at public events and cameras in your face all the time, and you're on TV, you're shooting for a film. It's quite a hindrance when you have adult acne, and it's just not going away, and everything I was doing was just not helping. I eliminated all of those food groups. I went vegan, and I just never got a pimple after that. It's really, really strange. I don't know what I can constitute that to, but, and I've noticed a lot of people actually talk about that. Their skin starts looking really, really good. Hair, everything, yeah, but for me it was a drastic change, so I was very, very happy about that.
Dairy does not suit a lot of people. Yeah. But that brings me to the last question of this panel. How important is blood work or getting tests done? Because I think a lot of vegans and sometimes a lot of non-vegans also, they don't get their B12 and their D3. So anybody here who is transitioning to a vegan diet or has a friend who wants to, please do ensure that you get your levels tested for B12 and D3. And that's not just for vegans. And so how important do you think is blood work?
I mean, I get my blood test done 2 to 3 months. And yeah, just to check, because again, this was a fairly new transition for me. And I did want to make sure that I did not have any deficiencies, and the body is a machine. You need to keep checking up on it, you need to keep maintaining it. You can find it a lot through your blood tests. So of course, prevention is better than cure. It's important, and I've been very lucky, touch wood. I've had no deficiencies since transitioning, so yeah.
Fit as fab.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, healthy.
Yeah, I think blood work is really important. Like she said, get it done periodically, but also get these physical tests done. It's not just the blood work. You can actually go to the doctor, get the physical tests done as well, just to make sure you're okay. And if you have introduced something new into your diet, make sure you do blood work before and after, just to see how you feel. I think it's very important. I do it periodically, and I want to say it again for all the people who think vegan men have lower testosterone levels. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Vegan men, I'm sure both of us have really high test levels. We're okay, we're good to go. All systems go, guys.
I will echo both of you folks and just get vitamin B12, vitamin D3, both of these tested. If the levels are low, just supplements. It's a no-brainer, it's very easy. Vegan B12 supplements are very easily available in the market. Vegan D3 supplements, I feel, is a gap in the market. So if there are any folks, business folks out here, you can create a vitamin D3 supplement. And I'm saying gap because the supplement dosages that are coming from vegan world are like 600 IU and 800 IU. This is a slightly lower dosage. It would be good to make a supplement which is like maybe 2500 IU or something upwards of that, so that in a single dose we can get all the vitamin D that we need in a day. So I think that would be really good, like if vegan entrepreneurs work on this problem. there's one company in life which is not a vegan company that makes a higher dose vegan D3 supplement, but it's just literally one. And we as a vegan population are growing. So many of my vegan friends and vegan clients and everyone uses vegetarian supplements as of now. I use vegan supplements, but because I have kept my levels on track all the time. So I think that's something to keep in mind. B12, D3 tests done, and if the levels are low, please bring them up.
And calcium.
This question just for me.
We are ugly dudes on stage. It's like these ugly fucks don't
Look and feel, okay. And we're running out of time, by the way. I think we can all answer this. I think when it comes to looking better, it's, again, I touched upon how it made my skin better, and I think, yeah, there are many ways it made me feel a lot better. I would say that would probably be the more important thing, because right now in my life I am at this point where I want to have balance, and I want to have a holistic approach. I want to have a better lifestyle. I want to contribute more to the world. I want to live in kindness, and so in that way it has made me feel a lot better about my diet and the way I now approach my food and the way I approach my lifestyle. And yes, if we are talking about aesthetics, my weight doesn't fluctuate anymore, and my skin has become a lot better, and I feel like I have great energy, which is important. I think that's one of our main aims when we look at approaching our diet and our fitness. You want to have energy that can take you through your day, that you can approach your work with, and for us we need a hell of a lot of energy to go about, but it's like that for everybody as well. So it has been, I think, an amazing, magical journey for me, and I'm so glad that I was able to open up to it and become aware of it, and now be a vegan.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's really nice. And
So much. You have such valuable insights into the nutrition of being a vegan, and for me it's still a journey that I'm learning about. I think we sometimes tend to neglect that part, but it is as important as actually making that transition. You have to know. So thank you guys as well.
Thank you.
You taught me a lot today.
we've been hanging out together.
Okay, so okay, fine. You've already said thank you to them.
I feel better now, thank you.
Thank you, Kuntal and Arvind and Jacqueline, for your precious time and for really sharing your wisdom with the world. And we're very blessed to have all three of you here.
Hey, before we get off, I just want to do it with a larger gathering because we did it last night. So I'll say 1, 2, 3. Everyone says vegan, okay? 1, 2, 3. Vegan! Man, y'all still hungry, man. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Vegan! Yes, great. I'm a basketball player, so I have to end, I'm gonna end the session. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we already got ours. No, we got that. We've been here for a while.
Oh, amazing. Okay, great.
Thank you so much to Kuntal and Arvind. A big round of applause for these amazing sports people, fitness people, and inspirers. And Jacqueline, thank you so much. You were just here with us today, so we have a special gift for you here. Thank you. I think when powerhouses like the three of you lend your voice with so much generosity, it really does so much for the cause, and this means a lot to us. Thank you. Thank you to all three of you.
मैम यहाँ पर पलक मैम थैंक यू मैम पलक मैम पलक मैम वो आगे
हाँ यस अफजल भाई सामने
अच्छा थोड़ा पीछे हो जाओ प्लीज थोड़ा स्पेस दो